Facebook headquarters was just the first stop on President Obama's trip to Northern California. He will attend a private fundraiser and speak at a DNC event later tonight in San Francisco. Today, House Majority Leader Eric Cantor, who will be the only representative for the House Republicans at the administration's deficit reduction meeting in May, put out this statement. Going in, we need a clearly defined mission and a targeted purpose to be accomplished within a specific and binding time frame. The latest iteration of the President's Fiscal Commission must be a serious and sincere effort to manage down our debt and foster long-term economic growth and not serve as yet another arena for political theater. Also today, a new round of Washington Post and ABC News polls showed people are not satisfied with how either side is handling the deficit. 39% approve and 58% disapprove of the president's handling of the deficit, while 33% approve and 64% disapprove of the congressional Republicans' handling of the deficit. But the Republicans got higher marks on the question of who is showing stronger leadership in Washington. 45% said Republicans in Congress are showing stronger leadership, while 40% said President Obama is showing stronger leadership. Joining me now is Howard Fineman, senior political editor of the Huffington Post and an MSNBC political analyst. Thanks for joining us tonight, Howard.
Hi, Lawrence.
Howard, I have to join those who say the Republicans are showing stronger leadership if leadership is defined as taking people where they don't want to go.
Yeah, I think this is really remarkable what we're watching here today because, yes, the president was on his game, speaking to a well-educated audience on the coast, in the heart of the new digital realm of America. But in the theater of Washington, the Republicans win on theater points, but they lose on the numbers and in terms of where things are headed. I mean, it's fascinating to watch. The president really, in the end, and I think I was wrong about this when I was watching the last hours of the budget negotiations. I think I even said that Speaker Boehner took the president to the cleaners on the budget negotiations in the last year's budget. But the fact is, if you look at the numbers, the Democrats and the president actually gave up less in actual spending than we thought at the time, so chalk that up as a victory for the president. And the Republicans didn't shut down the government. They blinked. They didn't shut down the government. So, and yet, the sort of the theater of it seemed to make it look like a Republican victory at the time. The president has an amazing ability. You know, he was kind of elected because he was thoughtful, not because he was forceful. And he loses on the drama, but he wins on the numbers. And I think in the end, he also wins in context. What makes him a leader is winning in context, is the context. Cutting the deals, understanding the complexities, being fluid, as Chris Hayes said. So the Republicans can walk around with a big stick, but it's the president who walks softly and gets over the finish line first.
Howard, I would also point out that it takes a very strong leader to get Mark Zuckerberg to wear a necktie, which he did today. But Howard, yes. on these polling numbers about the specific Republican proposals in terms of Medicare and the top tax bracket, the country is overwhelmingly opposed to the Republican position, but not yet overwhelmingly opposed to the Republicans. At some point, are we going to see those lines start to cross, where the lines that we're seeing on the issue polling start to infect the lines we're seeing on Republican candidates polling?
Well, I think that's quite possible. It'll be really interesting to see how far the Republicans are willing to follow the Paul Ryan lead. And, there were lots of votes for the Republican budget plan in the House, but there are going to be other votes down the road, perhaps. Let's see where those go. I think it's interesting also to watch the president here, Lawrence, because on one part of this Washington Post poll, you look at these numbers, as you say, so strongly in support of the president's position and so opposed to the Republican position. Why would he ever compromise at all? On the other hand, other parts of the poll show that the American people really do want compromise. So they're sort of saying, yeah, we're with you, Mr. President. We agree. We want you to be careful. We don't want you to give up too much, but we would also like to see a deal. So it's not just the Republicans who are cross-pressured here. I think the president is, too. In the end, I think he'll cut another deal. The left wing of his party may complain again. We'll find out that he actually gave up a little less than we thought he did. And, you know, if the economy cooperates and things are slowly, if steadily on the rise, he's going to be very hard to beat after a series of dramatic moments where he seems like he's lost. That's the way this guy has been all the way along. He surfs the waves, and that's what he's trying to do this time.
MSNBC political analyst Howard Fineman, thanks for joining me tonight, Howard.
Thank you, Lawrence.